Tearing me up inside, I try to hide them and I wonder why. I'm still running when I know there's no escaping. Come undone, surrender is stronger. No need to be a hero tonight.
Hello, movie travelers, and welcome to a part 2 of a thought to be the one shot. But no, this has returned. Welcome to What If Eri was Kaguya, part 2. Yes, I know I saw my brother, biological blood brother, started this series 4 months ago. Geesh, quite a while. And if for those who are wondering how we're biological blood siblings, we actually do have a father. Just a very overpowered one at that. We call him Master, Father, Boss, or NM. Sometimes he likes being called Nexus Miramoto. Others he likes being called Oblivion, Annihilation, Death, Doom, Destruction, the embodiment of chaos. Us, the epitome of evil. The creation of all negativity. But anyways, and of course, father of the Scarlet King. Father of the pale worm, or rim, depending on which is moi, and father of the writer of fate, my brother, Kanashiki Otsutsuki. And, well, I'm not going to list all of my children, as, let's be honest, I get like 99.9999999.1%. I'm 0.999% of my kids. Like, that's not even a joke. And then I had one child. Then I had like 2 to 3 children still alive. Like, seriously? Yeah, all I have to say to you is buzzsaws. If you know, just put it in the comments. Buzzsaws. Or oof for the possible 1 million children of the Pale King. But anywho, let's continue. And let's begin. We last left off with Kaguya being found in Deku's closet. As Deku would then say, who are you? And why are you in my closet? The woman would then look at Deku, and tilt her head to the side, saying, what is a closet? So this is a closet. And she then said, why do you feel so familiar? Almost as if there's some sort of thing I'm missing. What is your name? As he then said, Izuku Midoriya, but my hero name and my friends call me Deku. Suddenly, that singular word echoed through Kaguya's brain, until she heard a cute little snowball say, Mr. Deku? And then it hit her. This was the man who was supposed to raise her. This man is is who she should have been with instead of becoming a Otsutsuki and a powerful goddess. However, keeping it professional, she said, "My name is I am sorry. He is Zuku Midoriya, or Hero Deku. I was testing out an ability of mine. I have multiple abilities, and one of them was teleportation, as you can see." And she would then open up a black glitch-looking portal. As she would then stick her arm through it, as another portal would open up behind Deku, on top of Deku's head, which her arm would then begin rubbing and petting Deku's hair. He would then blush and say, "Stop it," as she would then say, "Fine," and turn off the portal. As she would then say, "Sorry about that, I'll be out of your hair." As Deku then said, "Wait, before you go, what's your name?" The woman then said, "My name is Kaguya Otsutsuki, but you may call me Kaguya." The woman then opened a portal and disappeared. As we go to somewhere far within a blocked off underground area. Hold on. As Kaguya would teleport to a underground temple-like area, where she would see a man with two Renegon in a black sage outfit, with one katana, pure black chakra rod katana, and a pure black chakra staff. As he then said, "Mother, you're finally free. The old man's seal broke this time. It appears that Ashura and Indra's chakras were not enough to keep you sealed forever, but only 10,000 years." As Kaguya then said, "That's how long it's been? 10,000 years?" Felt like a day. As Zetsu then said, "Yes, mother. Now may I please ask, and I hate doing this, but I must know. Mother, why did you want to be sealed on that day?" And she then said, "For a reason which I can now tell you." And she then said, "You see, many years ago, I was not always the all-powerful almighty goddess you see before you. I was not even a Natsuki once. Once I was a mortal girl, with the magnificent power to turn back time. However, I was a mortal. I was weak and foolish. When I was 4, an evil man named Chisaki, Chisaki Kai, came and took me away. He did awful experiments on me. He took me apart down to the atom and rebuilt me, so he could control me, as at the time I had no idea how to control my power, and it leaked out, killing hundreds, maybe even thousands. Chisaki wanted to use my power for his ultimate evil schemes. I feared him. as a child, of course. Hold on. Eri Kaguya then said, that man Chisaki, oh, that man Kai, Chisaki, he used his unholy power on me an infinite amount of times. And then a man saved me, a kind-hearted, great warrior. One I see in my dreams, green flowing hair, with light, with energy pulsating from his body, with the potential to be stronger than the strongest gods, but held by weak mortal chain, held by his weak mortal binds. I could not do anything back then, but only watch as he was attacked by a powerful man. This man was the last of his, and first, and the last and one of the first of his kind. He was an Otsutsuki. I believe his name was something around Oroshiki, I cannot remember. But his name started with an O. He was extremely powerful. And he destroyed the man my best friend right in front of me. Mortal or not, that man cared for me as if I was his own flesh and blood. And he died. I was brought to another realm. This part I somewhat remember. A place of nightmares and dreams. A place where fiction and non-fiction are meaningless and merge together. A place where it isn't held by the simple boundaries of reality, physics, matter, science, gravity, time, or space. A place of ultimate, pure chaos. The Otsutsuki who grabbed me and who kidnapped me was its inheritor and ruler. He then fed me the strange fruits from that world, one each day, for who knows how long. One day, and over time I began to change. My skin became paler. The side effect of my power, which was a small golden horn, re-entered my forehead. My hair became longer. I became taller, powerfuler, but more emotionless. I never dreamt, except of that one boy and his great heroic deeds and power. I remembered the name Deku, or Mr. Deku. However, when my adopted father / kidnapper released me out into the world and released me out of that dimension of chaos, he sent me to an alternate timeline around 16,000 years ago. I found Tenji. Not 16,000 years ago. Make it maybe 1,000,000 years ago. I was at the Otsutsuki clan, taught how to be a Natsuki, and there was my adopted father, but much younger and powerfuler as he was in his prime. One day however, in this alternate universe there was a coup, and I was sent on a mission to collect the chakra fruit from Earth. You know the rest. What I didn't know is it was that same Earth that was a parallel copy of this one. And I knew that within the future I would see the Emerald Warrior once more. That made me happy. So happy. So, what I did was I had myself sealed away, waited for the ways of ninjutsu, and chakra to fade to the pages of history and myth. And then, I took control. I waited for the seals to crack, which apparently took 10,000 years. And finally, today, I saw the Emerald Boy once more, along with my human self. Zetsu, appalled, had his mouth open, as he then said, "I did not know, mother. Then it is good you saw this boy. But question, what was your original name?" As she then said, "My name was Eri, back then, spelled E-R-I, Eri. That was billions. It feels like billions of years before I was a goddess. Maybe even trillions. That was before I was a divinity with almost infinite power. And now here I am. There he is. Almost as if fate was woven this way, to give me a second chance to be with him. I may have missed out on having him as my brother, but now I will have him as my lover. From now to the end of existence. And when the end of existence comes, I'll bring us to another timeline, and another, and another, and another. We'll be together forever. You, me, Deku, and, of course, your brothers and sisters in the future. All will be as I planned. All will be as I desired. All will be to my design." Zetsu then said, "Well then, mother. Despite me being a bit upset you did not tell me about your past any sooner. I cannot blame you. Who'd want to talk about abuse and about the past of being an abused mortal? I know you are not that person, mother. So, I thank you for at least telling me now. And now I know why you waited so long to return. And now we may complete your goals, mother," Zetsu said. As she then said, "Good. Now, from my memory, he goes to a school to teach him how to be a strong mortal, called UA High. However, his chakra reserves, on the other hand, which have not been exactly opened, are powerful. Quite powerful, actually. He has a large abundance of chakra, more than Indra and Ashura combined, which we both know that equals out the might of Hagoromo himself. Meaning, his chakra reserves are so large to the point where they're pretty much at the level of an Otsutsuki, or possibly the Ten-Tails. I believe he is a Jinchuriki of some kind. Knowing Hagoromo and his descendants, and my grandchildren, he must have used the creation of all things skill to create another powerful Biju. Either that, or after the great battle, there was another Ten-Tails, which I'm almost positive there was, on the Otsutsuki world. On the world I was on, outside of the collapsing, outside of the dimension of chaos. So, if I'm correct, he holds the second Ten-Tails. That was inside of him. However, it appears as if the chakra has not, it's only the mind, which also appears to, it also appears to be sealed away. Not just the mind, but also the chakra of the Ten-Tails. And, well, combining his unnatural abundance of chakra with that of the Ten-Tails it would give him more chakra than even I. And let's not forget the fact that he hasn't even used a single percentage of chakra. I suppose you, Zetsu, will have to teach him how. After all, we can't have your father weak, because if that was to happen and he was to die, I'd end the entire timeline, and then myself. Either that, or go to the next timeline and try again. As Zetsu would then say, "Yes, mother, but please stop being creepy. It terrifies me, seeing you like this." As she then said, "Oh, sorry." As we skip to the next day, and we skip 1 week later, as we see Deku eating lunch at a park with Eri. As he then says, "Nice day out, huh, Eri?" As she then says, "Yeah, Mr. Deku," smiling brighter than the sun could ever shine. As Deku then returns a smile even brighter. As we go to Zetsu, who's hiding in the bushes. As he then says, "It's so bright. Good thing I copied the creation of all things. Ing's ability from Hagoromo." As he then said, "Shades." And he created a pair of pure black shade glasses, as he then put them on and said, "Much better. Yeesh, that's bright." As he then said, "And now, to use that shape-shifting jutsu I got a couple of thousand years back." As he would, a couple of weeks ago. That shape-shifting ability I got a couple of weeks ago. As he then say, "How'd it go again?" "Ah, yes. Normally I'd have to drink one's blood. However, I can just link their chakra and morph into them." For those who don't know, in the manga, Zetsu actually has a extremely broken OP ability. The ability to perfectly copy and keep anyone he comes in contact with abilities. Meaning, if you think about it, Zetsu, who's quite literally been with the Akatsuki, fought with Naruto, Sasuke, been tagging along with Kaguya for God knows how long. For Nexus knows how long. Let's see. Probably fought some other Otsutsuki. He's obviously been near Madara and Hashirama, Hagoromo and Hamura. So, Indra Ashura, probably even Ishiki at one or a couple points, and of course, he's also been near all of the Biju. Meaning, if you think about it, Zetsu is extremely broken. Like, that is a O to the P ability. He's pretty much like Rimuru, but cool. Rimuru Tempest, but cooler. Because he's like a black slime, but at the same time, he also has the ability to gain others' abilities. But anyways, as he would then morph into a old man, as he would then say, "Pardon me, young sir, but would you like to take some, skill training classes? I work for a distant hero school called," as he'd then think long and hard and say, "Konagakure High." And Konohagakure High. Deku would then eye the old man suspiciously, but would then say, "Okay." As he'd then say, "Well, let's see here. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to take the child with you, but I have my colleague here as well." As Kaguya would then walk out of the shadows, as he would then say, "This is my colleague Kaguya Otsutsuki. She is great with children. After all, she is a mother and even grandmother. And, well, no, she's a very good, excellent mother. She has three children, two of which have sadly passed away due to injuries. And the other is unknown of where they are." As the old man would then say, "So, don't worry, I trust you can leave the young girl with him, and with her." As Deku would then say, "Alright, Eri, I'll be back in a couple of hours, okay?" As he'd walk with the old man, aka Zetsu. As Eri would then be sitting down on a bench, humming, as Kaguya would then sit next to her. As Kaguya would then say, You're Eri, huh?" trying to make a warm smile, as Eri then said, "First off, tell me who you are, and what you're doing here, and why your acquaintance," Eri said with two of her fingers in quotation marks, "is with my Deku-kun. I'm Izu-kun." As Kaguya would then say, "Okay, I hated that act. Alright. How do I explain this?" As Kaguya would then explain the whole situation to Eri, who would then say, "Makes sense. So, you're me, huh?" As Kaguya would then say, "Yup. I'm you and you're me. The only difference is you still have your Deku. I'm your Mr. Deku." As Eri would then say, "What do you mean? I still have mine. Where's yours?" As she then said, "The man who kidnapped me and adopted me, he killed Deku and Mr. Deku. Mr. Deku, being a human, wasn't even able to hold a candle to the god. To the godlike being who he fought." As Eri then said, "Oh, so no evil man will come kill my Mr. Deku, right?" As Kaguya would then say, "Oh no, that was just my timeline here, and I've made sure your Mr. Deku won't die. At least not till human age runs out. But don't worry, I have an idea. My plan is to become his wife and feed him the same different meals. However, in each of these meals is tiny shreds of the same fruit which was used to turn me into, well, me. And eventually, after many years, Mr. Deku will become immortal just like me. And if you're lucky, and if you don't mess anything up, I'll consider turning you immortal as well. You could be like my little adopted daughter. After all, you'd technically look exactly like me." As Eri would then say, "Well, I must say your story is quite amazing, but only one thing can prove that you're me." As she then would hand her a stick that was kind of sticky on one end, as she would then say, "Use your ability on that stick. Use your quirk on that stick." As Kaguya would then say, "I don't even know if I still have it or if it still even works, but I'll try." As Kaguya would then inhale and exhale slowly, as suddenly a yellow lightning would emanate from her right horn. Well, to you guys it probably looks like her left, but to me it looks like her right. Anywho, but in first person it would seem like her right. And she would then say, and as she would then begin concentrating, as the stick would begin reversing, as suddenly Kaguya would open her eyes to see there it was, a candy apple right in her hands. on a stick, untouched, uneaten. As Eri would then say, I believe you. Now, give me the candy apple. As she would then say, how about no? After all, mine. As she would then and she would then morph her face to that of a cat's and begin hissing at Eri. As we go to Deku, who is at a mountain where the old man begins to morph and says, alright, now behold my true form, boy. I am Black Zetsu, or just Zetsu. Now, my master has some big plans for you. However, in order for these plans to come to fruition, I have to train you in the arts of chakra. As he then said, now, sit down and try to channel some power. Except not your human power, not your quirk. As Deku would sit down, but nothing. 2 hours pass, still nothing. As Zetsu would then say, what are you even trying this for, huh? You're a human who can't even activate chakra. A weakling. Man, I'd be surprised if you could even make one, and if you could even activate a Byakugan or something useless like that. As he'd begin and laughing, as he would then begin enlarging himself and using ability he found from a girl with green hair. As he then split himself into 50 versions, as he would then morph them all into Bakugo. They would all begin speaking in Bakugo's tone of voice and pointing at him, calling him useless, weak, telling him to give up on his dreams. As suddenly something inside of Izuku broke. As suddenly a terrifying, menacing aura, a black menacing chakra leaked from Deku's body. A terrifying dark chakra, which took the form, and which took the 2D, and which took the large apparated form of a giant 10-tailed wolf. Which did a demonic howl, one which would have shooken the earth. As Deku's eyes would have turned black with red slits. As Deku's forehead would begin cracking open, revealing a black and red Rene Sharingan. However, the black is where the red is, and the red is where the black is. Deku's fingernails would become sharper than katana blades. And then the sharpest of blades, his teeth would become giant sharp fangs. As a black aura of chakra would then create a human, the figure of and the outline of a pure black energy wolf around him. Imagine when Naruto in the original show before Shippuden turns into Two Tails mode. Yes, I know you all were thinking like, okay, Naruto from the original show going Kurama mode was a lot cooler than him turning into Kurama mode in Shippuden. And I have to say, you're absolutely freaking right. As Zetsu would then say, there might be hope for you after all. As he'd then say, come. As Izuku would then dash at him at the speed of sound, which would then begin burning, which, because it's black chakra, everywhere he stepped, his footprints would have been made of freaking Taratsu, which are the black flames that come from Sasuke's Rinnegan. As Izuku would then, as a terrifyingly loud voice would then say, "Who dare awaken Aiken I send you?" As Zetsu would then say, "That would be I, Black Zetsu, child of Kaguya Atsusuki, the mother of chakra, and the manipulator of all. I'm the manipulator of Uchiha, the manipulator of Ga, of pain. Obito Uchiha, Madara Uchiha, the Akatsuki, the Indra Uchiha, and so on and so flippin' forth." As he would then say, "In other words, I am an extremely intelligent being. Now your vessel has caught the eyes of my mother. So, I was told to help him with his chakra, which you, appearing to be sleeping for most of his entire life, have been blocking up. Like, seriously, you know how long I've been trying to teach this kid to do a single D rank jutsu? Like, seriously, the kid can't even make a single water bullet because of you. You've been blocking up and absorbing all of his chakra. You friggin' greedy wolf." The Ten Tails would then say, "Well, it's not my fault that my vessel has such abundant amounts of chakra." Now, fun fact for anyone watching this. In this IU, the Jinchuriki are actually treated a lot better by the Biju, and Deku is no exception. Instead of being a vessel or container, or as Kurama would put it, jailer, they are more such their heirs, in a sense. Meaning that seeing that Deku, just like the other Jinchuriki, has been, and has had this thing in him since birth, pretty much it changed his human DNA into that of a half Biju, half human. Or half Jubi, half human. Which is a lot worse. As we go to Deku, who is in his mind, as he sees these black fiery chains on his wrists, as he then says, "Where am I? Who did this?" As then from the shadows he sees it, a giant black and gray wolf, 10-tailed wolf, with 3 eyes. As he then says, "That would be me, boy. You are my Jinchuriki. So, in a way, you are my heir. My child, if you will. As he then said, I am Shin. I am Shinju. Brother of twin and much more powerful and nice looking brother of Jubi. While my hideous brother looks like a tree stump with mixed with a slug, mixed with 10 giant tree branches and a cyclops. I am a beautiful three-eyed, pure black, white, and gray, 10-tailed, elegant wolf. As he would then say, so, boy, I came here to tell you something. One, a goddess has her eyes on you, meaning a goddess has affections for you. And two, you have a power that isn't a quirk. You had the infinite power of chakra, along with all of my powers as well. All you have to do is fist bump me. As a giant black and white clawed arm would reach down from the darkness. As Deku would then fist bump the giant black and white arm. As then Deku would awaken. The tails would disappear, and the chakra would fade away. But his teeth would become normal. His third eye would be sealed up. His 2 eyes would become back to normal. And his fingernails would go back to normal as well. As Deku would then say, what did you just do? As Zetsu would then say, and as Zetsu would then say, I did exactly as my mother asked. I am Zetsu, mother of the goddess of chakra, mother of the goddess of the moon, the rabbit demon herself. I am Zetsu, or Black Zetsu. And if all goes away, my mother other wishes, you will call me son. Or child. Yes, I'd like that very much. As Zetsu would then say, well, goodbye for now. As he would then turn to a black slime and sink into the ground. As we go to Deku, who would then say, what? And that is the end of this part. I hope y'all have enjoyed. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, and skadoosh.